Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to do a video about Relic guitars a little bit, or talk about at least my opinion of Relic guitars and how they sort of changed a little bit. So this is a Bill Nash T63 guitar. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. You look at the back and things of that nature. So, I mean, Relic guitars are something that's probably just started. I would say maybe within the past. I guess Bill Nash started his company around 2004, maybe a little bit before that. But in any event, though, I always thought they were hokey, to be honest with you. I always thought that, oh my God, this is overly done. You don't own a vintage guitar. The guitar is not 50 years old. Then I started thinking to myself, well, why would a person actually buy a Relic guitar? So I came up with, at least for me, the reasons why I bought a Relic guitar, and I think it probably might be similar to many of you who own Relic guitars. I think first is the sound. I think people are trying to replicate the sound of vintage guitars. A lot of times you read a lot of the boards about the weight of the guitar, the pickups, the coil, everything that was used, the neck, the radius, things of that nature. So it's all about sound, and everything starts with sound. We'll talk a little bit more about that near the tail end of this. So that's one thing. So sound is very important. The second one is the look and feel of things. So look and feel is very important to people. Some people want to look like it's very well worn out, and and the beauty for me of playing an old guitar or older guitars when I've played them, as opposed to something new, whether I'm sitting at the music emporium or anything like that, old guitars feel like it's like that leather jacket that's really well worn, or this leather couch or something like that. So they feel good to play. They feel like a familiar friend, and and you're not afraid to get a nick on these things. When you buy a new guitar, and you get your first nick on it, goes like, oh my God, this is horrible. So you've got the sound, you've got the look, and you've got the feel of that. A fourth reason that people buy vintage guitars is they actually own. I'm sorry, why they would buy a Relic guitars, that they actually own a vintage guitar. So I don't know, if you own something that's over $10,000 or $20,000, you're not going to play a gig at your neighborhood bar and risk it being stolen, damaged, nicked, or things of that nature. So those are some of the reasons that people buy the guitars. But let's go back to the beginning, which is the sound. So I've just been fascinated with Nash guitars, and I started reading about tone and a lot of things. And what tends to happen if you have a good relic guitar is that they are typically just better made guitars, period. If you have somebody working on these things, they're looking at the best components you can possibly think. So like with Nash, I know he starts off with this guitar is very, very light. So he won't use a body that weighs more than 4.5 pounds. The neck too, it's really, really beautiful neck. It feels nice and warm. It's a C-shaped neck. I mean, it's well worn out. Very, very easy. But the weight is the thing of it that I think is really good. Remember, I said earlier the sound is the most important component of everything. So good sound always starts with good wood. Okay, and typically speaking, the lighter the wood, the better and the more resonant the sound's going to be. The second thing about this is the paint, the coating that's used. Most production factory guitars, like if you look at my Fender here, um, my Fender Tele, which weighs a lot more, this stuff is polyurethane, okay, which is okay. So it's a beautiful guitar, and I love this guitar and the whole thing. But this is nitrocellulose, which allows the wood to breathe. So that's the other thing that I love about this. So, and if you can hear it, none of these guitars are plugged in. So you hear this. Very, very nice. So if you can get a sound out of any guitar like that without it being plugged into an amp, without it going through a pedal bar, then you got yourself something good. All right, then. Thank you for watching, and have a great Memorial Day weekend. Bye now.